Hey there everybody, up by the woodland by my house, and beautiful spring day. The leaves are really coming on, so we've got a lot of shade, which is nice, and it's coming in and going out. I think I'll stop here because if I keep going it's all sun mostly, and this is kind of nice right here. Yeah, so changes are afoot. I have been really rethinking a lot of what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. It's been very complicated. It has been a very complicated process for me, and I want to simplify because the complication, I believe, is stifling my creativity, and it's definitely stifling my fun factor. So my muse has taken me in a different direction now to a certain extent, and I'm really kind of digging the square black and whites, and it kind of opens up, like, you know, when I'm just trying to get the grand colorful landscape, which is what I've been chasing for the past couple of years. It really limits my vision and my fun, and my camera bag, in order to be prepared for that, like, it's very typical, and I know everybody's gonna relate to this. You put together a camera bag so that you're ready for anything, except that you can barely lift it. And you've got all, you know, you've got your 10 to 24 zoom, you've got your normal 18 to 55 zoom. I'm just talking Fuji. You got your 55 to 200 zoom, and then you got two camera bodies, and then you got your video gear, and then you got, and then, you know, and then all your filters, and then this big backpack and a drone, and I get all that, okay? But being prepared for anything kind of gets me ready for nothing, in the sense that, like, it, you know, paralysis by analysis. It's paralysis by too much gear, and so what I've got is all this gear that's ready for anything, and a very narrow focus on what I'm trying to accomplish. And it's really stifled the fun and the creativity of the photography for me. And so what I'm doing is I'm forcing myself to open up a little bit, and that's why I'm sharing this with you, because I'm rethinking what I'm doing, which I constantly do, and you guys know this. But that's, for me, I don't know about for you, but for me, that's the creative process for me. It's a constant rethinking, it's a constant reevaluation. And so I want to do more of a simplistic black and white kind of a thing. And so that's where I'm at. And that, to me, opens up a number of possibilities in terms of gear selection, etc., etc. And I've got a lot of choices, and I got to be careful that it doesn't expand, and, you know, I end up back with all the gear and all, you know, all that. So, which is nice, I mean, because it allows me to fine tune where I'm going, what I'm doing, etc. But I've got it down to a bag that I'm going to share with you, and this is my Pentax minimalist gear kit for doing fun photography, artistic photography, more open photography, with a wider range of subject matter, etc. And this is what I've come up with. This is my Pentax kit. So for video, I've got the GoPro Hero 9, which is what's doing the video now, and I'll show you that after I don't know, I guess I could switch to the Pentax to do some video of the GoPro. That should be interesting. But yeah, let me show you what's in the bag. All right, very expertly camouflaged against the green earth is my Domke F6 little bit smaller bag, which is wonderful. That's my sunglasses I get off of eBay. You get 12 pairs for 16 bucks, not bad. And inside we have the Pentax K1 Mark II with the 43mm limited on it. All right, and the Genesis bottom plate. All right, that's a spare battery that I didn't know was in there because I already got spare batteries, but whatever. So, okay, so for lenses, we got the 43 limited. I got my generic lens caps that I epoxied, rear lens caps that I epoxied together. And that's the 77 limited and the 31 millimeter limited. That would be my minimalist kit. And then I would throw in the 20. The FA20 for a wide angle, and I could always swap out the 77 for the 70 to 210 F series, or I could bring all of it. And so that's the kit right there. And one other thing to consider is if I want to do some film photography, I've got those Pentax MXs and all those lenses in that bag, the 20, the 31, the 43, the 77, and even the 70 to 210, they all work with the MX. They all have aperture rings and manual focus rings and distance scales. So they're manual, you know, they're MX compatible lenses for film photography, which, you know, that's another possibility. I could bump up to my Domke F2 bag, the bigger one, bring all those lenses, throw a MX in there with film, and there it is, right? Then I can do some film photography too, which that gets me excited. So you gotta follow your muse. If you're bored with what you're doing, find something to do that gets you excited. I've got the Peak Design leash strap, the thin one. Like I said, I got the spare battery, but that's extra. I didn't know that was in there. Some business cards. My Mind Shift Filter Nest Mini. So here is this is interesting for filters. I've got a 58 millimeter K&F Concept. This was a cheap filter, works great. ND 1010 stop, 58 millimeter. The reason I have the 58 millimeter filters is because these are the only filters that will fit on the 31 millimeter limited, okay, because of the lens hood, okay? So, but that's okay because everything else is 49 millimeter. So I've got the ring for that, okay? And then I also have a B+W Caseman 58 millimeter circular polarizer. And that's it for the filters for every lens. That will fit every lens I've got except for the 20 millimeter. Well, you get the idea. That goes on there. These go in here. Now that'll fit every lens except for this one, which is a 67 millimeter filter. And that's why I have these guys. So I've got the Polar Pro quartz line 10 stop, and I've got my Hoya Pro 1 circular polarizer, and then I've got a 67 to 77 millimeter adapter ring, and that's my filters. And that's all the filters I need for every lens in the bag. And then up in here, I've got some cheaters, glasses, and then here's my spare battery pack. I don't know if they make these anymore, but so I've got a spare GoPro battery and I've got a spare Pentax battery. That's it. That's all I need. Okay, and that limits the gear to the point where it's fun to take along, etc. Now, and it's not that heavy, and it's a small bag, and that's great. So I actually set up the same kind of a bag in my Domke, I think it's the 803 or 802 or 801, the black bag that I have, my little Domke satchel thing. And I set up the same thing with an XT4, the 16 28 WR, the 23 F2 WR, the 35, well, I interchange those. I take one or the other. Usually it's like, from what I'm thinking, what I would take is the 16, the 35, and the 70, the 16, the 35, and the 55. Okay, with the XT4, or the XS10, or the XE3. So that would be another minimalist bag that I could, you know, really, if I wanted to go really super lightweight and throw the GoPro in, and I could have the Fuji's doing video as well. So that's another possibility. But this would be my full frame kit shooting those wonderful limiteds, and that's just for the fun of it. I really enjoy the way the limited lenses render on the K1. I probably would run this system with the K1, the 31, the 43, and the 77. And that's it. And then if I thought I was going somewhere where I'd need a wide angle, I'd throw that in, the 20. And then rarely I would throw in the 70 to 210, I think. I don't know. Again though, you know, when you open up photography to not always looking for the grand landscape, but trying to do more of an abstract or more of a generalist kind of a black and white thing, like there's images everywhere. They're all around me. And it brings back the fun and the joy of the discovery of the shapes and the forms and the things like that. So so that's where I'm at with this whole thing, and that's where I'm headed with that. So I am going to take a few shots here because it's looking interesting. So yeah, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and I really appreciate it. The channel has grown 200 subscribers since February, since the end of February. So really March and April and May, maybe 2.5 months, 200 subscribers, not bad. So yeah, I'm digging that. That's fun. So glad you guys are enjoying the content. We'll see you out here. Have a great one. Thanks. Bye.